Aloha Manga Club, it's your boy Lohali signing in, and on this episode of the Manga Club, we are joined by TeeBry, one creator who has been making videos for over 5 years. He is sitting at over 9,000, as Vegeta would say, subscribers at this moment in time. TeeBry, how are you doing today?
What's up? I'm good, man. Thanks for having me here.
It is an
Appreciate
absolute, it's a pleasure to have you on. I've gotten to kind of see you on Twitter, seen a few of your videos, but we've never really interacted until I reached out to you literally 3 days ago asking if you wanted to be on the show, and I genuinely appreciate you coming on. So if you wouldn't mind, for the people who don't know you, what do you actually do on YouTube?
I make mostly Naruto videos, to be honest. My channel's mainly Naruto, but I cover everything that I want to cover. I do reviews. I've recently just changed my content to do like more like analytical stuff. But yeah, I make anime videos, guys. Come on.
There's nothing better than making anime and manga videos. Like, it's so enjoyable. And I have to say, taking a look at your content like right now, I definitely did watch that video where you said you were going to potentially delete the video, and literally titled "Big Changes We'll Delete Later."
Yeah.
I watched that video today, and I really agree with a lot of what you said, but I kind of would like to dive a little bit deeper into your past creation history. Like, why did you start making, originally what you have on your channel right now is manga hauls, all that kind of stuff. And if I remember correctly from that very first video was your first time really getting manga. Is that right?
Yeah, that was my first time ordering. Well, actually, no, that's not true because I had Death Note. The first manga that I ever bought was Death Note. Yeah. So I had the entirety of Death Note before I had anything else, but that was like way before I even started my channel. So, but yeah, you're right. That video was the first time I ordered like manga online for like a video. Yeah.
Why did you ever read manga before that? Like, watch anime, or was that really just your first entrance into it? Was like Death Note and then Naruto?
No. Naruto, because see, like when I was a kid, obviously I watched like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh on TV, but like I never really considered that anime. Like I didn't know what anime was back then. But Naruto was the first anime that I actually watched back in like grade 5 when I was 10 years old. So that was the first anime that I got into. Yeah. It's cool because my classes, right? My grade that I was in always matched the year.
That's so not fair. That's so not. Wait a second. I'm trying to think of like how that lined up for me. Because if I was, did you graduate in 2012 then?
2013. So it'd be like the beginning of the year was what would be 2012 in grade 12, and then so like every year I would start at that year, but it would obviously end.
See, all my years ended with the year that I was in. So I'm 1 year. I'm like, I think 1 year older than you. This is
how old are you?
I am 26. If I so 1 to 2 years older than you, depending on how the
your school
I'm
system. I'm 24 right now, but I turned 25 in September. So
see,
yeah,
boom, look at this. I'm great at mental math somehow. It makes no sense. So, you obviously watched, like you said, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, but then what kind of got you deeper into that Naruto? Like you said, one kid walked into school and said, guess what I fucking found?
I can't remember exactly. Obviously, it's so long ago. I can't remember how it happened, but like one day somebody came to class and started talking about Naruto, and then like for the next like year and a little bit, Naruto was everything to everyone. Like everyone. Like anyone in my class always talking about Naruto, always doing Naruto stuff. It was insane. We were buying like headbands and stuff. Like it was the wave,
We didn't have that in my school. So when I was in so that would have been 6th grade for me, 5th grade even. We exclusively talked about Dragon Ball Z or Samurai Champloo. Like for some reason we were loving like that Adult Swim, like super over the top violent anime, and that's what we talked about in my school. Somebody's like, Naruto, what the hell is that? And we only had 2 kids who did the Naruto run. Granted, we only have 30 kids total in that class, so those aren't great odds for looking stupid.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Dragon Ball never reached our school for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
That is so weird. Like, I wonder if that's more like a country thing. Like, if
it went from like Yu-Gi-Oh. From what I remember, there was a big Yu-Gi-Oh wave where everyone would bring Yu-Gi-Oh cards and play Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. And then there was like a Beyblade time when we would all like bring Beyblades to
I
school.
was just about to say that.
Yeah. And then there was at some point there was, you remember that show called Bakugan or whatever,
Yeah,
with
with
the
the little
balls?
balls. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah,
there was
100%.
that hit our school for like a good while, and then I think it was Naruto. Naruto was before that though, I think. But anyways, yeah, no Dragon Ball in there. It was just like
Dude,
all those shows.
it was nuts. We did Dragon Ball. So obviously we were Pokemon all the way through. Like Pokemon was just a consistent thing all the way through. Even into
every
high
time a new
school,
game came out,
everyone's mind
definitely.
was blown by how great it was, even if it was the
Yeah.
same game, literally. But
Yeah, just reskin.
So it was always Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh was really big. We had one kid who actually got the like dual deck that he'd throw out his arm and it just
We had one of those.
it was we'd go over to his house, he'd be using that, and then he'd give us a little like foldable like deck
little
things.
mat, yeah.
We'd have to use the mat while he was using that. I was like, this seems like some bullshit right here.
Yeah, like
And then-
counts your life points and everything. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like all the rest of us had to keep it memorized in our head, and so he'd just lie to us what our life points were, and we believed him because we thought that he was right.
He had the dual disc.
He had the dual discs. He also had a full Japanese version of Exodia.
Oh my god.
It like
Yeah.
back. So originally, for those of you that don't know, Exodia didn't only come in the 5-piece set. You could get a secret one from Japan that was all together, and it was some cheap shit. But then we also ran an illegal Beyblade betting ring at school.
Oh my god.
We would meet before and after school and just let her rip, and we would place our Beyblade parts on the line. One of our teachers got so mad about it, she confiscated. Like I won because I just built the most jacked up, tough looking thing out there. She confiscated a full bag of parts that I won legally off of another kid. I did not steal them. I did not beat him up for them. He lost them and he gave them to me. She confiscated in that, and that's when I lost my interest in Beyblades.
Dang, bro.
It was nuts. So you got into Naruto in 5th grade, and did that really just start a love of anime for you from that moment on, or did you kind of drop off and then pick back up?
I did drop off. Like for a while, I would watch a bunch of random anime on like YTV, which is Toonami for you. If you you live in the States, right?
I live 100% in the States.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Toonami for you. But yeah, I would watch just random episodes. You know, when you're a kid and you just don't really care what episode comes on, it's just it's watching
an episode. Yeah, I mean, it's like
not even in the right order. You don't even know what the full story is. You're just watching an episode. Yeah.
Because there's
I would watch
explosions.
like Naruto, Eureka 7 that would come on then. Zatch Bell.
Dude,
would also
Zatch Bell
come
was
on then.
baller. Zatch Bell was like
I
so
really want
baller.
to rewatch that because I don't really remember anything about it. I just remember I watched it as a kid. But yeah, just like anything that would come on Saturday nights, I would watch it. And then after that, I dropped off of anime for a while until like 2012, where I was like, I'm gonna watch Naruto again. And then since then, it's just been like everything's Naruto.
It's been
my life.
all Naruto all the time. I can tell by the fact that you have a gigantic Naruto. Is that a wall scroll or a regular? No, that's a wall scroll. I can see the little black. Yeah, I can see that in the back. Yeah.
No, it's just a poster.
It's just a poster. Oh, you threw me off. But yeah, I can see your shelves are just littered with Bleach on one side, Full Metal Alchemist,
Naruto
right over there. What's that on the very bottom shelf? Is that Dragon Ball on the very bottom shelf?
Dragon
Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super are all down there. Yeah.
I know. Like I collected Dragon Ball so hard. Like, I know exactly what they look like from a distance. It's really pathetic, actually. Like, super pathetic. I feel bad for my parents. So, you said you started getting into it in 2012, kind of loving that Naruto wave, picking it back up.
Yeah.
What made you decide to go from just absorbing it, reading it, to talking about it online? Like, why did you start making YouTube videos?
Actually, my YouTube channel was not anime and manga. At first, for the first like 2 or 3 years, it was a gaming channel.
Ooh.
So all the videos that I have private now were all gaming videos. Let's plays, all that kind of thing. I want it to be like PewDiePie, that was my goal.
I mean, he's making millions of dollars a year making YouTube videos and playing video games. Obviously, that's the goal right there.
I still want to be like PewDiePie, just not gaming.
I mean, you know what? The PewDiePie of anime, I'd like to see that. I think that can happen.
The first thing that I ever did actually on YouTube was I wanted to do like a vlog channel. For some reason. I was just like really into like the daily vlog people. I can't stand it now, but like Yeah, that was like the first thing that I did. I had my first video on my channel, like the only one that's not deleted is a vlog video where I'm just sitting in front of my like at my desk saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna start vlogging." It's the worst video you've ever seen, but then after that it was like an Outlast, like the horror game playthrough. But yeah,
Wow,
that's
like
what my channel
I
was.
would not have guessed. Like, are you a big gamer still, or are you more
Yeah,
like what do you
I
which system?
oh PC. I have a PlayStation 4, but I never touch it.
Well,
But
that's
mostly PC.
that's because PlayStation 3 was the best system of all time, hands down.
No, yeah, actually went from Xbox 360 to PS4,
That is,
and I had an Xbox One as well, but I
that's a
sold it.
really weird jump from going from like 360 to PS4.
Well, it's weird though because I had a PlayStation One when I was a kid,
Yeah,
right? And then after the PlayStation One, I got a PlayStation Two, and then my friends were like, "Hey, we're all on Xbox, dude." So I got an Xbox 360, and then I got an Xbox One, and then I was like, "PlayStation 4 has really cool exclusives," so I got a PlayStation 4 as well. So then I had an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4 and a PC at one point, but now I've just completely like now I just play on PC. Like I can't be bothered to
dude.
play on
I'm
anything
I'm gonna
else.
be honest here, like speaking completely objectively as a guy who did not play video games that often. Like I was Budokai
Yeah.
Tenkaichi kind of guy, Portal
Oh
2,
yeah.
Infamous. Like I think, in my opinion, PlayStation had the better exclusives overall, like more
Oh,
better
definitely.
exclusives. Like don't get me wrong, Halo was a game changer. And
Yeah.
Xbox is absolutely was. I'm not gonna say now. I'm not as good with it now, but was the king of online multiplayer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But
It was like Call of Duty, everyone was on Xbox. It's
oh,
because actually like the major league, like the esports used to be all on Xbox, but they switched to PlayStation. So
I
no one
mean,
plays on PlayStation. I mean, people still play on Xbox, but like it's mainly PlayStation now.
that's because PlayStation looks so much sexier too. Like,
True.
and its naming system makes more sense. PS1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 instead of Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One. Now we're going for
Yeah. Like,
Xbox One
where
X.
are we?
Like, where? What's
Yeah.
your naming system? Like, where? Why didn't you do 180? Like, oh no, it's a complete 180. So you started doing walking vlogs and
Yeah.
then gaming content. And then now you're finally doing manga and anime. And we talked a little bit about this before, but one of the very first videos that you still have up on your channel is from 3 years ago. It's a 21,000 views on a manga haul. And I think that if
Yeah.
I looked over it, and there's something else that I want to touch on this, but you were buying 1 through 27 of Naruto and potentially something else, right?
Yeah. I can't remember what I bought in that. I think I might have bought. Did I only buy the first box set, or did I buy more?
Oh, you might have bought the first box, the first two box sets. It might have been the
I think
first
that's what it
two
was. I think
because
that's what it
you
was.
opened up the first box. Naruto was sitting in there, volumes 1 through 27, all white,
Yeah.
and then you opened up the
Right.
second box, and it was Shippuden. And you made
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
comment,
So
like I said, I only know this because I did my research today, guys. I promise. I'm not stalking TeeBry, but what? And then you actually made the comment that you thought, and you weren't 100% sure at this moment in time, that Naruto Shippuden was split up and called Naruto and Naruto Shippuden in the anime, but the manga was always Naruto.
right. Right. Yeah. So like the black ones start shipping. Yeah.
Yes, and that's exclusively what I remember. But there's one other thing that I really want to talk about that I noticed a difference between that video and one of your more recent ones, especially with your, I'm going to delete this soon video, is your personality has kind of shifted. You seem a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more, I don't want to say
Yeah.
not hyper, but you seem to have a little bit more personality behind what you're saying.
You know what it is? I think it's just like being comfortable in front of the camera. Like I wasn't always. I mean, to be fair, I had already been doing videos for like 2 or 3 years with the gaming stuff. But like I feel like the more you make videos, the more comfortable you just are talking to yourself in a room, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, I the biggest thing that I would like, biggest piece of advice that I'd give to people when they're making YouTube videos is your personality won't really start to show through until you've made a few, and this is going to sound crazy, a few hundred videos. Like, you're
Yeah,
going to be
it's true.
crafting the voice that you want all the way through, but the difference in your personality from video one, because I bet you if we were to go back and look at that first video,
Oh my god, it's so awkward, dude. Like
Can
It
we?
is so awkward.
I want to make a reaction. I almost want to make a reaction to that. Just sitting there watching that, comparing it to your most recent ones, like doing
It's
all of
so
that.
it's I mean, I could send you a link to it, but it is so awkward. I'm just like sitting there and like spinning in my chair, like, oh my
Spinning. You
god.
were actually spinning in your chair.
It's so cringy. It's so cringy.
But the cringe is always so good. It tastes so good.
It's like I make like the weirdest jokes too, like jokes that have not aged well at all. You know, like the X-Files theme song type jokes.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Those
oh my
are
god,
yeah,
dude.
but those are some of the best jokes
Oh
out
my
there.
God.
Like when you can look back and laugh at your jokes not because they're funny, but because of how bad they actually are.
Yeah,
That's when you know
yeah.
it's a joke that lasts the test of time.
Uh,
Because if you
man,
go
that
back,
video.
so there's a few people who know about this. Not a lot of them do. This is actually my second YouTube channel.
Oh
I
yeah.
made an original self-titled YouTube channel, Brian Morehouse, where I was doing fitness stuff. Like back
Oh,
in
okay.
about 2012, 2013, before the fitness boom really took off. I kind of
Yeah.
wish I'd stayed there because that would have been legendary. Like I literally have no reason to talk about it now. I'm not anything special. I just know a little bit more. But
Yeah.
it's just me standing there with the camera pointed up at me, no external microphone. It's just internal on the camera itself. And I'm just sitting there talking, and it's super awkward. The lighting was so bad. Like one of them, the camera's on, like basically on the ground, looking up at me. I have a light and a red. I hung up a red sheet in the background that I was standing against, using the lights from like my basement lights to light me up. It looked really shitty. And then you go to
Oh my God.
the very first video on here.
Yeah.
It's not on here anymore because I legally had to block it.
Why is that?
Because this was so. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago when Shueisha was going through their really big kicking the can down the line and trying to screw over all the small creators. I was reviewing Eden Zero and Hinamaru Zumo, and I was doing it in a way that I would not recommend because I was showing the panels as I was reacting to them, like reading through it, giving it voices, like talking about my thoughts. Like I would do a live I do a live reaction, then I do a live thoughts. Talk about it. Well, they started to copyright strike literally frickin' everybody. So I had to go through and block it all. But if you take a look, I had not this phone right here, but I had my phone just sitting up vertical, not horizontal, on a stack of books with a light shining on me from the side. So it just looked terrible.
That's funny because my first video, or what I used to use as a webcam for like my first like few videos, even back when I did gaming, was a stack of DVDs behind my laptop with my phone leaning against the wall.
That's how it's supposed to be. Like that's what we call hardcore. And whenever anyone says I can't do any better, guys, I can tell you that I upgraded my quality by just turning my phone to the side. That's quality step number one is turning my phone to the side. But
I mean, like my setup now compared to like what it was back when I first started, like if you would have told me back then this is what it would look like, I'd be like, hell no, you're crazy.
I am a gear whore. If I'm gonna be completely honest here, I know that gear doesn't make the quality higher, like your content quality. But for me, I really enjoy just having some really cool gear to kick around. Like right now, I have a ring light shining on my face right here, like one of those small USB ones. I have a set of LED panels that I have elsewhere. I have this little light guy right across there. I am now.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit nervous to say this because it's not here yet, and I don't know when it will be because the United States Postal Service lost it. But I have a brand new camera coming to my house. Like, I love that kind of stuff. If you had told me that I was going to use that instead of my phone, I'd have told you that you were stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I got like the light strips, like LED light strips all over everything. I got a TV above me, 3 monitors in front of me. I got these. I can even show you these big box lights. I got 2 of them on the side.
I love those. I love those. I gotta ask though, why do you have 3 computer screens and a TV?
Well, the TV is connected to my PlayStation, so I would just kind of like kick back and like play PlayStation, right?
Okay. Right.
And then I mean, 3 monitors. It may seem excessive to some people, but it's really nice for like workflow and stuff. It's really good. And I always have a trouble like explaining that to people, like why it's so necessary. I literally could not go back to having 1 monitor at this point.
I have 1 monitor exclusively. Eventually, we'll get to the point where I might have 2, but I have an old Acer LED.
2 is fine. I could do 2, but like
One.
One, I would suffer. I
Oh,
would literally suffer.
they tried to give me two at work, and I just couldn't do it.
Oh,
I
really?
exclusively work on, like, not exclusively, but I use Google spreadsheets a lot. But
Oh, yeah.
I'll just half screen it. I just cut the screen in half
Okay.
and just do it because my brain's already like, oh my god, there's so much going on, and I would.
I literally have like Discord over here. Whenever I'm editing here, I'll have like YouTube over here. Like it's just I don't know, or like I'll have my files open, right? Like my file folder on one, and have my editing program on the other, so I can just drag over stuff that I need.
That makes
That's
so
I
much
think
sense.
that's the best use for it.
That makes so much sense though. Like I can understand that. Just to me, this is speaking as somebody who's not used to that. It would blow my mind originally. Like I would have a really hard time trying to use both monitors.
Yeah, I mean, my third monitor over here barely ever gets used.
I'm more about speakers. Like I want really good speakers because to me, sound is so important when I'm doing something. Like my favorite pastime is I'm a gamer. That's right. I play Tetris. I'll play Tetris for like 4 or 5 hours sometimes at a time, and I'll just have a YouTube video playing on the side, and it's usually like a top 10 list, like the what culture lists, or like visual VFX artists react to stuff. Like I just enjoy that kind of stuff, like where they break it down and talk about it.
No, I'll have those, like, because I'm working from home like half time now because of the whole COVID thing. So yeah, I actually have an extra computer here. I have a laptop sitting here, so I have literally 4 screens in front of me. It's my work laptop, so I'll just be on that, and then I'll have like a YouTube video, like you said, like top 10s and stuff, just like running.
How do you balance working along with doing YouTube videos? Because now you're starting to go more towards deep dives. I know that you kind of stepped away from the weekly reviews, weekly reactions to focus more on scripted videos. I don't want to call them scripted, but
I mean,
that style. How do you find a way to balance a job and that?
See, actually, I think it was harder when I was doing reviews, like the weekly reviews and stuff, because then it's like you have to do this today. You have to get this out today, or everyone's already going to do it. You're not going to get as many views because it's been covered and people have watched other reviews on it. You have to get it out like the day the chapter comes out, or the day the episode comes out, which is stressful. It's a lot of pressure, right? But now with these other reviews, it's like I don't feel like I have to like I can just get the video done on my own time. Like I'll work on writing the script, and then I'll work on recording and editing, but there's no like rush. There's no like, I mean, there's a little bit of a rush because I like to be consistent and remain uploading constantly, but like that pressure of like getting this done same day is no longer there. So, and it just feels so good.
And I can actually agree to that because I've kind of bounced back and forth between chapter reviews, doing them and not doing them, and I found that there's specific series that aren't as high pressure to review, which sounds really, really shitty. Like the 2 that I'm reviewing right now, Hajime no Ippo and Eden Zero, not as many people are talking about them. So with Hajime no Ippo, I absolutely try to get the video out that day because I enjoy it so much. And I found that it's a good way to kind of get just some views in the channel. But with Eden Zero, I'll just post it the next day because no one's going to be searching for it anyway. But I'm waiting. I'm banking on the anime when it comes out in 2021 to explode just because it's tied to the creator of Fairy Tail.
And then you might have other people going back to your reviews.
This is 4D chess right here. This is the American version of 4D chess.
Exactly.
So okay, I want to actually check one more thing. Is that an Itachi tattoo on your right arm?
Where? Right arm? This arm?
Is that your right arm? No, that's your left arm to me. That one, yes, that arm.
No. I mean, there's a Sharingan here.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, I
can
see it.
Eye. And then I have the Leaf Village symbol, and then there's a rose here.
All that I got is this one right now. I got that.
I can't see it.
It's okay. Right. You can't. Okay. There.
I can't. Yeah.
Oh God. Trust me. He can't see it very well because I'm using a secondary webcam and it looks really shitty on his end. Like real
it's
shitty.
Super cropped. Like
he sees this of my face. Like he just sees my eye. Like basically all that my guests can see on these is my eyes. So if anyone wants to send me a better webcam, I'm totally game for that. I actually don't know how that would work. But like I really love that you're so enthusiastic about specifically Naruto. Like it's a series that gets a lot of groundwork underneath it. You just made a Zabuza and Haku video and just put it out yesterday, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to start doing like individual like character interactions like that, like relationships and breaking that down?
I'm actually rereading Naruto right now. So as I go through it, since I have this new like content strategy in mind, like this new style of content, as I go through Naruto again, I'm going to be making videos on every character and everything that I feel like deserves one of these new type of videos. So,
and I think
that's the plan.
I want to break this down a little bit. I think Zabuza is one of the most underrated villains in
definitely.
Bleach. I think he got kind of screwed with the power scaling that happened later on in the series.
Oh yeah. Zabuza, like, I don't know, because like he doesn't get a lot of love just because it's like just the first arc, right? I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's anyone that complains about Zabuza.
No, because he's
in the Naruto universe. Like no one complains about that. But
he's a badass, but I think he kind of got screwed on the power scaling. Like he was one of the 9. Was it the 9 swords of the mist?
Yeah. Or 7.
7.
Yeah.
I can't remember the number. He was one of the odd number swords of the mist. That's all that I remember. It was an odd number. And if I remember correctly, the shark guy said that Zabuza was technically the strongest out of them until the shark guy got his sword.
Right, because this Kisame's sword is like ridiculous.
It's just cheating. He's basically a tailed beast.
At that point, because that's what they call him, right? The no-tailed,
the Jinchuriki without a tail.
Beast. Yeah, that's what they call him.
And I think, like, really looking back on it, Kakashi and Zabuza got screwed because they kept power scaling everybody else up to past their level, and Kakashi was one of the strongest.
Time, Zabuza was supposed to be like this elite, like this is the scariest, one of the this is the highest level of ninja. But it's like after that, it's like okay, no,
he got like, thrashed.
Like teenage Naruto or Sasuke could just wash that Zabuza.
Yeah,
so it's like
the end of the like original Naruto run right before Shippuden would have been able to stand a good fight against Zabuza. Like at least from a scaling perspective, we didn't see anything that crazy, and that kind of. It bothers me just a little bit because he was such a cool character, and again I feel like they did Kakashi like the dirtiest out of all of them.
Yeah, I mean Kakashi did get stronger, but like not as stronger as everyone else.
Yeah, and he was made to be the 6th Hokage of the village of the Hidden Leaf, and I was like, why?
Took his Sharingan away.
Yeah, they took his Sharingan away. Like that was the biggest cheat of all time. Like,
probably honestly, as much as cool as Kakashi is, probably the weakest Hokage.
Oh, I can absolutely agree to that. I actually had a discussion with somebody about actually it was one of my wife's friends. We had a discussion about the 3rd Hokage and how strong he genuinely was, and how they actually ended up retconning some of his powers.
Oh yeah, because originally Kishimoto had planned to have the 3rd be the strongest Hokage, even stronger than the 1st. That was his original plan.
I would have been cool with that because he was originally called, if you know, and this is deep Naruto lore. If you look back, Mikey didn't believe me. He was called Sarutobi was called the God of Ninjas. He was
right, and then they switched that. They called Hashirama the God of Shinobi.
Exactly, and
it was originally it was originally the 3rd.
It was it was originally Sarutobi. Like he was originally the God of Ninja. He took on. For those of you that don't remember just how badass of a feat he genuinely has, as an old tired man, he took on the 2 original Hokage in the imperfect resurrection. So
so to be fair, they were weakened a bit.
They were weakened a bit. Like he took both of them on and Orochimaru.
That's insane.
Yeah, and he took both of them on plus Orochimaru, and he made Orochimaru retreat. Like he made him go like, oh shit.
His arms. Yeah.
Like that is how strong Sarutobi genuinely was, and then they were like, never mind, he was the 2nd weakest Hokage, and I'm like,
it's because the problem is Kishimoto, he's even admitted this before, he writes on the fly, right? So like he does plan ahead, obviously, because of so many, you can tell that he plans ahead, but you can also tell that he just kind of also makes things up as he goes. Like I feel like he plans ahead in a general sense, but like in the specifics, he just kind of
he's like, this is kind of where we're gonna go, which you can.
Yeah, like he knows where he wants to go, right?
Which you can kind of see in the Final War, the 3rd Great Ninja War.
Oh yeah,
like that feels like
literally everyone's least favorite arc.
If we're comparing that to Bleach's ending, it's not nearly as bad.
Oh
But
no, I'm not there yet.
Bleach's ending is pretty. There was a whole thing that went on when Bleach ended. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. Where people
Right.
literally took out their entire series and lit it on fire.
Oh my god, I don't
I'm
know
not
if I
even
go
joking.
that far.
All 76 volumes, something like that. It's 74, 76, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Took them outside, lit them on fire because of the ending. No one did that with Naruto. They were just like, it was kind of a crappy ending.
Yeah.
Now, here's a
That's
really
ridiculous.
deep cut. Did you know that Kishimoto has a twin brother?
Yes, I actually recently found out about that. What's his name? Saishi
Saishi
Kishimoto or
Kishimoto,
something?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a series called Opart's Hunter, I believe is the
AKA
English name.
666 Satan
Yes, right.
is the I think original name.
I
Now,
really want to
it's good.
I
It's
want to
good.
read it. I want to get it and read it because
It's
I think it'd
good.
be really cool to make a video, or a series on Kishimoto's forgotten brother and his manga, you know?
And
Like I
not
feel like he
just
deserves that kind of recognition.
and it gets crazier when you look at the comparison between the two stories. Like to
Oh,
me,
really?
100 like this is the start of the series. Orphaned boy with markings on his face has extreme power.
That's good. I wonder if they have like a rivalry, like a
Like
sibling rivalry.
I've asked that. Literally sat there. I was like, I wonder if they just kind of sat there and just both said, I wonder, like, let's start off with the same main premise. Let's like, there's even a time skip in the series. There's a time
And
skip in
I
both.
seen on some covers, on some of the covers for for his brother's manga. There's a lot of art that looks similar to stuff that would be in Naruto. I think I can't remember what it was. It was like uh maybe the Ten Tails Husk, I think, or something like that. It was something
Yes.
that I seen on one of his covers, and it was like that looks
Yes.
exactly like this.
It's you need. I would love to see your thoughts on it and like do a how similar are they comparison because
I'd love to make a whole bunch of videos on his work.
it's just too eerie. Like they had to have been sitting there like planning it out, seeing which one of them like taking major plot points, like saying this has to happen. Because there's even a an old mentor figure with like white blonde hair, like the who loves pickles.
Oh my
Like
god.
it's the comparisons are so weird, but honestly, like realistically speaking, I think Naruto's a little bit better of a series, but Opart's
yeah.
Hunter was just so much fun to read.
I wonder, like, it can't be easy on your mental to be the brother of the guy who wrote Naruto and your manga isn't as successful.
Well,
Like that's gotta take some sort of like he's gotta be some sort of jealous, you know? Like I wonder what their relationship is like. Like, is it actually like a good relationship, or is like
I'm not sure. So, do you remember what year Naruto came out?
1998?
Something like that, I think. So, and with Opart's Hunter, it came out in 2001.
Okay.
I'm double checking this right now because I just want to be sure that I have all. Yeah, 1997 actually, August
Is when
18th.
Naruto?
Yeah, 1997. It's about to hit its 23-year anniversary.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
crazy. But I would love to like. I want you to do. I want to see this like breakdown because he even has like a love interest who's a blonde-haired girl. Like there's just so much that goes into it that's really really coincidental, and I just enjoy it. But I noticed something on your shirt a little bit when you rolled back. I believe that's a Psychopath shirt, is it not?
Yeah. And here's the thing. I've never watched Psychopaths or read.
Really?
I don't even know what it is. I got this shirt from a loot. You remember like loot crates?
100%, absolutely.
Yeah. So I used to do loot anime, their anime crate. I used to do that on my channel for a little bit. So that's the story behind this shirt.
But
That's where it came from.
you've never even been like, I'd like to see that. Are you?
Oh yeah,
mainly,
no, it's on my list to watch. I've just never watched it. So
how
like,
big is your list?
oh my god, dude. Oh my god, it's extensive. I have a short list of things that I want to watch soon, and then just have like the general list of like,
Going down. Like, what's on your
yeah.
short list right now?
Um, let me pull it up. I'm super OCD about this stuff, so I actually have like spreadsheets and stuff.
I actually have spreadsheets tracking which manga I've purchased because I've made mistakes in the past where I've bought the same volume multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And so my wife finally said, "You need to find a way to fucking track that. Otherwise, we're gonna have issues." And so I
Yeah,
did.
I have a anime. What is it? Anime and manga list, and then just a general collection list where there's like figures and stuff and everything
Oh,
like that.
oh, that'd be nice.
So on my short list, I have Assassination Classroom, Bakuman, Parasite. And then I have a whole bunch of like one-off manga, like some Inio Asano stuff.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of it is stuff that I have on my to be read shelf.
Hmm.
So like I want to kind of read through that first, right?
Yeah.
So that's the main, and then I have like Tokyo Ghoul, Blue Exorcist, like series that you'd be surprised. Like there's so many series that like I have not read or watched, like so many.
Don't worry, I'm on that. I've read, like I said, I've read probably over 200 series, probably more, and
Yeah.
I still have not finished certain ones. Like I've read part of Tokyo Ghoul, but then I dropped it. I dropped Attack on Titan. I dropped Blue Exorcist because they stopped translating it completely 100% legally for a little while.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really hard to find online.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I have the first 3 volumes. I've read them before. I really
It's
liked it. So
it's not half bad of a series.
I
But
really like the premise of it in the beginning. I was super into it. It felt like for me it felt like Harry Potter for some reason, but
dude,
like
I
Harry
love
Potter, but like Exorcist. You
Dude, I
know?
love Harry Potter though. Harry Potter is
Yeah,
like
Harry Potter's dope.
dude,
I was actually talking to this with my friend. Oh, okay. Quick question.
all right.
Because this has been going around on Twitter. People have been saying Harry Potter. They think Harry Potter is better than the Lord of the Rings franchise. What's your take on this? I'll tell you right now. I love Lord of the Rings, so I would say hell no, not in a million years. But I'd like to know what you think.
So to put this 100%, like to be completely clear so everyone can understand this. I have a Harry Potter tattoo, right? I read the books every single year. I have read.
So I see where this is going.
Actually, maybe. I have read The Hobbit and I have watched The Lord of the Rings. If we're gonna say which one do I think is a better overall series, hands down, Lord of the Rings is better. I also think that for fantasy, it's a lot more influential. It's a lot more influential. The books, however, I believe are a lot harder, aren't quite as accessible. I think they're a little bit harder to get into because Tolkien was a very, very, very descriptive writer. Like it's and again, I talked about this just yesterday with Evan. You're not going to hand a 6-year-old Lord of the Rings and say, "Have at it."
Oh no, definitely not.
But with Harry Potter, you can hand a 6-year-old Harry Potter and go, "Hey, here you go," and they're going to be able to understand it and read through it pretty comprehensively. Like, they're not going to pick up the deeper themes, but they'll still enjoy it. With Harry Potter, do I think that Harry Potter is a better series? No. Do I think that Lord of the Rings is more influential and influenced more series currently? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's literally like the default for like fantasy at these like orcs 100%. And like
he made
everything.
So much. He took so much and brought it to the forefront. Like without he researched. He didn't make up. He did deep research into English like lore and brought these creatures to the forefront of everyone's mind, and they became a very, very important thing.
Like,
in fact,
they're like a staple of fantasy. Like,
before that they weren't. Before that, we were in writing before J.R.R. Tolkien came along was either very like it was fiction, but it was more real life fiction, or it was sci-fi. It wasn't as much fantasy. He brought fantasy to popular because originally, I mean, and this is obviously not 100% true. Like, stick with me here. But Lord of the Rings could be closer to what's called a fairy tale, right? And fairy tale were seen as more of a kid's thing, at least in my opinion. So I think the way that he wrote it, the fact that it was a more mature take on quote-unquote fairy tale style writing really helped change the game. And without him, we wouldn't have a lot of the fantasy series that we have right now.
Definitely.
And I think that, so he's absolutely game-changing. And the fact that he created his own world, his own language, he did research.
That's
like
insane. That's crazy.
I can't say the name of the book, but the Silmarillion.
Yep.
He made an entire universe for his creatures to live in, and I think that is absolutely astounding. I don't think we'd have half as many cool fantasy things today without his influence. I absolutely think that it is much more influential currently, but I think in the future we're going to see Harry Potter have a little bit of an uptick because of how popular it was with our generation. Right? Like, I grew up reading Harry Potter. I didn't grow up reading Lord of the Rings. When I think magic, when
Right.
I think
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, I think Harry Potter. So I think in the next, 20 to 30 years, provided JK keeps the fuck off of Twitter, Harry Potter will be around for quite a while. Like, and
I mean, there's no denying that it's a great series.
it's
I love Harry Potter, but
and it's also a thing where I can play the audiobooks and I don't have to pay attention to them because they're just so much fun. I can pop my brain back into it when it's not in the background and know exactly where I'm at. That could be
Right.
the fact that I've listened and read through the series like over 10 times, or it
Yeah.
could just be the fact that it's
I'm the
easily
same way with
accessible.
Naruto.
It's
Like play any episode at any point in the anime,
you're
and I'm
like,
like, okay,
I'm
yeah, I know
right
what's going
there.
on.
But yeah, no, I love Harry Potter, but anyone who says that it was more influential and more important in modern media is a liar. Like they don't understand just how much. If Lord of the Rings had not walked, Harry Potter would not have been able to run.
That's true.
If
100%.
let me double check. I don't want to say there's one. I was about to make a false claim, but I want to make sure that I'm right. Things the Fellowship of the Ring was released. So Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring was released in 2001, which means that I believe filming for that started in because they were all shot simultaneously, all of them,
Right.
all three films,
Yeah.
starting in 1999. Whereas the Harry Potter films, I believe, Sorcerer's Stone movie was released in. There we go. Again, 2001. They were both released in 2001.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but there's again a difference in how you're watching them.
Yeah.
If you want to be
definitely.
like, I also think, and again, I love the Harry Potter series. I love the movies. They're great. But the Lord of the Rings movies are even better. They're just more well shot. The
They're,
theatrical
like,
cut, like
masterpieces. Yeah.
it doesn't feel like, and this is my honest take on Harry Potter. It feels like the movies were made to touch major points in the actual books.
I actually have not read the Harry Potter books. Like,
Really?
I had them at one point. I'm not sure what I did with them, but I've never read them. I've never been really much of a novel guy. I don't like reading like extensive like novels. Like only some. Like I've read Lord of the Rings and stuff like that.
Harry
But like
Potter,
most of the time I don't.
Harry Potter is very much a product of its time, right? Like it's very much, it was the Marvel universe before the Marvel universe was big. It was touching on all of these big moments throughout the series, and honestly, the last Harry Potter movie really started the trend, and I call it the trend that I really don't like, where you split your final film into two parts.
Right, true.
That
Yeah.
was the first big one that did it, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, they made so much fucking money. We all need to do this." And then every single young adult film after that had a two-part finale. Every single one.
True.
But
Yeah, you got Endgame and Infinity War.
But let's be honest here. Lord of the Rings, you can, I think the one thing that I will give Harry Potter almost over Lord of the Rings is I think some of the actors in the Harry Potter movies were a better fit for their character than what was in the film for Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Like
Like I said, I wouldn't know because I didn't read the books, but
let's be honest here. Like Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid, absolutely amazing. But
did you know that what's his name? The actor that plays Gandalf in Lord of the Rings.
Was actually considered to be Dumbledore when the original Dumbledore died.
And he declined.
Because Richard Harris, the original Dumbledore, did not think that Ian McKellen put heart into his acting. Yes,
Yeah.
of course I know that.
Yeah.
100%. I learned, actually, I make it sound like I've known that for a while. I've only known that for like a month. That's my new favorite fun fact.
I learned it earlier this year, and I was like, oh, cool.
Well, I was
They
watching
actually had a bit of a beef. That's funny.
They did, and it wasn't so much. And actually, Ian McKellen said, "I really respected Richard Harris. Like I love Richard Harris.
Yeah.
He was a phenomenal actor, and I won't do this because I respected him so much." And I was like, damn. But then they got Michael Gambon, and I was like, all right, no, let's be real here. We should have gone with Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Ian McKellen as like, he could have brought that phicality to the Dumbledore role.
Well, yeah, because he said I remember one of his quotes was I think he said this in an interview. He said, I already play the real wizard when talking about Gandalf. That's
Damn,
what he said.
dude,
like,
if it was real, like speaking, knowing what I know about the world of Harry Potter and the world of Lord of the Rings, it's not a fair comparison because Gandalf is literally an angelic being thrown into a physical mortal body. It's bullshit.
Exactly.
That's like saying, like, can you really consider yourself a wizard if you're actually just an angelic being? Like,
yeah, you're just like a demigod.
Yeah, you're a demigod. Like, don't cheat, Gandalf. We get it. You'd win. But there was just something in the Harry Potter books about Dumbledore. He had this like mysticism about him. Like, you're sitting there like, oh, he's a pretty chill dude. And then there was a scene, like, they described it in the 4th book. And you kind of got to see it in the movie when he bursts through the door, when Mad-Eye Moody, who's, you know, who is really, God, what's his name? Barty Crouch Jr., who was played by, Doctor Who. Anyway, he bursts through the door, and the way they describe it in the books is Harry had never understood why Voldemort had feared Dumbledore until that moment when he felt the cold, righteous fury of like Dumbledore standing there. And I was like, holy shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Like, it's a scene where you just picture Dumbledore standing there just in the doorway, this imposing old man, just like radiating pure hatred, rage, and calmness all at the same time, like looking at you like he's about to pop a cap up your fucking ass.
You ever seen that one? It's like it's a quote from the book, and it was like it's when they were putting their names into the Goblet of Fire when they weren't allowed to.
Yes, 100%.
And it's like it said I forgot what the line was, but it's like basically it was something along the lines of "Get away from there," Dumbledore said calmly, and in the movie he just screams it.
No, it was so the scene that you're thinking of is the most meme scene in all of Harry Potter, and why no one likes Michael Gambon, but I think he was good in the 6th one. But it's, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire, Harry? And he shakes him, and I'm like,
said calmly.
And then, but then you look and they interviewed Michael Gambon. He's like, yeah, I never read the Harry Potter books. I'm like, bitch. Why? Why would he's so like, funny. I wanted to give my own interpretation of him. I'm like, no, you shut up. You stop right now. You go read those books and you come back and apologize. But they said he actually did like multiple takes of that scene where that one he like violently shook him and another one he kind of did it calmly. And the director actually chose that scene. I'm like, God damn it, we can't blame Gambon. He was just doing what an actor was told to do. Fine. Right. Yeah. So, you've never read Parasite though?
No. I haven't. I have all 8 volumes, but I haven't touched it yet.
Are you going to watch the anime or read it? Which one are you going to do?
I normally do both for most series. I'll depending on what it is. Like it really depends on the series, but sometimes I'll watch it first and then I'll read it after just to review and go over what happened. Like Attack on Titan, for example, I always want to see the anime first. I'm not going to read ahead until season 4 comes out so I can experience it because it's beautiful looking, right? It's amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing anime.
The anime looks so much better than the manga does.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely want to experience that anime first, but I do have the manga over here, and I am reading it, but I'm trying to stay behind. But with Parasite, I think that I want to read it and then watch the anime. It gives me that some things like I don't even know like ahead of time, but some things just give me that vibe that like okay, I got to read this instead of watching it. And then,
as somebody who's both read it and watched it, the way that they did the anime. It was modernized because the original manga was written in the 1980s, late 80s, right, the 1980s. But they just did certain updates to make it feel a lot more modern. Just the introduction of computers and phones kind of changed how the story would go.
Oh, really?
A little bit, but
so anime or manga? What should I?
Honestly, I think personally, the anime was just so like I got emotional watching the anime. The manga,
oh, really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching the anime, and my wife actually watched it with me, and it's one of her favorites.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, and that's something that I don't normally say. Normally, I say read the manga because it's easier to consume, it's easier to read through, it's easier to get through, and you can move along quicker. But the anime, for me, and this might just be because I read the manga first, but it was an experience getting to watch all the moments that I wanted to happen.
Oh, so you did watch you read the manga first then?
I did read the manga first. For most everything
it's
that
weird
I've done,
because most of the time I feel like when somebody like depending on what you do first, that's what you say that you love more.
And that's actually
for a lot of people.
My comparison with this would be have you ever watched The Office and Parks and Rec?
I've watched The Office, I've watched clips from Parks and Rec. Haven't ever seen Parks and Rec.
So I have a theory that that everyone always says that they have a favorite between The Office and Parks and Rec. Usually they'll like both. Yeah, but they'll say, "Oh, I like this one more," or "I like this one more." Yeah. And the first question that I always ask is, which one did you watch first? And the one that they watched first is the one that they like more because they think that it was the originator.
It's like I feel like that's just like human beings, you know, because like it even goes like I say this all the time when it goes back to like the big three, like Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. Almost like 90% of the time, whatever one you watched first, that's your favorite one.
Oh, absolutely. That's
And
why I
Naruto was
think
my first. I feel like I don't know. I've never watched One Piece, right? I've never
Mhm,
seen it,
that's
but
okay.
I feel like if I watched One Piece before Naruto, I might be sitting here with One Piece posters. Like you never know, you know?
You never know, and I will say, as somebody who loves One Piece, like again, a stan right here. I am One Piece. I am One Piece stan. Um, you know, people who say that you have to read or have to watch a super popular series and say if you don't, you're not experiencing real life, they're full of shit. I think that
Yeah,
I want people to watch One Piece, but you shouldn't be forcing other people
the
to.
amount of comments I get. Watch One Piece. Watch JoJo's. Like every time I get a comment, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna put this back a few months.
Yeah, with and you know what? Don't watch One Piece until you're ready to
Yeah,
until
I
you're
mean, the
ready.
only thing keeping me from watching One Piece is that I'm not ready to commit to another long ongoing stuff
That's
right
fair.
now. And long, it's just because the way that I do YouTube
Hmm.
is like I like to watch something, and as I watch it or after I watch it, I make videos on that. So I don't want to start something new until I've completed one thing.
Yeah,
Like I'm super OCD about
and
that.
you're doing your read through of Naruto,
Right.
which
So
I
I
think is
literally will not touch anything else until I'm finished Naruto.
yeah, and then
That's how I work.
like I if I was you, like going from what you're saying right now, what would make sense to me as a creator, and tell me if I'm wrong. Like I would
Yeah.
do Naruto. It's going to be a long series, you know. There's going to be a long haul. Then you do something
Mhm.
shorter like Parasite. Then
Oh
maybe
yeah.
Assassination Classroom. And then you can jump. Then you jump into something bigger because you've taken a
Right.
break, and then you're able to commit to something else, and you've knocked out your list.
Yeah, I will do like one off manga and
Yeah,
stuff. Like
because
I
it's
will
easier.
I'm totally okay with doing that like in between Naruto.
Hmm.
Like I plan to read what was it called? Nijigahara Holograph by Inio Sano.
He
It's
always has weird
I
names.
yeah, I plan to read that at some point like soon. So like anything that's just one volume, I'll do that whenever, you know?
And
But
that's because that's and again, as a speaking from a creator point of view, that makes so much more sense because you're not committing to the long haul. You can make one video about it, be
yeah,
done.
like everything that's one volume will normally get one video.
Yeah, and
Unless there's
that's
something that really piques my interest that I feel like there's needs to be another video on. But like,
I can fully understand that. And as
yeah.
much as I want you to read One Piece, I want you to wait until you're emotionally ready.
Yeah,
And don't
I still got Bleach to finish. Like I'm
oh yeah,
partway through Bleach
and
right now, so
don't believe the hype. Just go into One Piece completely blank. Just go into it
yeah, I
blank.
mean I literally know nothing about it other than that it's about pirates.
Good.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. And I will say, and again, I think out of the big three, Bleach is probably one of the prettiest looking out of the big three.
I say this all the time. Bleach has the best art.
Oh, it's
Best art.
he wanted to be a fashion designer originally. Did you know that?
No, I didn't, but I
Kubo
can
Type wanted to
tell
be a
because a
fashion
lot of his like other artwork, like artwork that's not actually in the manga, like his I don't know what you would call it. Just like
cover chapter
just
chapter covers.
no, not even that. Just like there's like just random things that he's done, like for like I guess magazines or like art books and
Yeah,
stuff. But it always had maybe the chapter covers too. I haven't seen them because I have the volumes, but like he has his characters dressed up in like such fashionable like suits and everything like that.
they,
I'm like, man,
he makes it look
crazy.
so pretty. Like Bleach, Tight Kubo, whatever Kubo. I can never say his name because everyone says
I
it
don't know if
wrong.
it's Tight Kubo or
Or
Taite Kubo. I
right?
never know.
I call him
I think
Tight
it's
Kubo.
Taite. I
I
don't know. Whatever.
I call him
Kubo.
Tight Kubo. He just makes really beautiful things.
I know, like his art, yeah, it's just so much
Sharp.
shading, like it's so crisp looking, like
It's so sharp. It's so clean.
yeah,
It feels really good to read it. That sounds a weird
yeah,
that feels weird to say, but
yeah.
out
I
of
100%
shonen,
agree though. Yeah,
it has this really unique look because there's some shonen series that'll just blend together because the series look the same. But with
and I
his,
think personally, like I said, I haven't read One Piece or watched One Piece,
yeah,
but I think that I would like just from what I know and what people say about One Piece, I would say that Bleach. It's like a double edged sword, I guess, or something. I don't know what the expression would be, but Bleach has the best art, but the worst story. That's what I think. That's
I
what I think is
think
the general consensus.
the first half. I think the first arc in Bleach is why the invasion arc. I think that's what it is.
The The Soul
Soul
Society.
Society arc. Yeah, that
I
first.
loved it.
Everyone loves
Loved
that.
it.
Loves it. And then from there it starts to go downhill. And I
Yep.
agree to that. I think
I noticed that
One
too while
Piece
watching the anime. Yeah.
I think Naruto was always consistent out of the big three. It was always the most consistent, like it felt that way. It never really had any huge like peaks and no real big dump until the very, very end.
Right.
And
Yeah.
whereas Bleach, it started here and then it just kind of went down. Whereas One Piece, and I will say this, the first 100 chapters of One Piece, they're good. I enjoy them. I love them. But compared to the other three, they are a little bit weaker. But you're also being introduced to the main cast, right? You're getting into them. You're learning about the characters that you're going to be following along for the rest of the story, and you're learning about the world. And like I said, do think
that it has really good world building in One
the
Piece.
world building is insane, and the characters are really designed to show what they do. If that makes any sense? Like Luffy looks the way he does because of his abilities, or Zoro looks the way that he does. Like the designs are based around their abilities instead of their abilities, instead of the other way around. Like it doesn't feel like something out of the blue. Like if you were to see Naruto stretch out his arms or blow up into a balloon, you'd be like, that doesn't look very good. Or any of the characters really. Even Choji, when he did his fat form, you're like, something just doesn't feel right. Whereas with One Piece, the characters are designed that, or singular characters are designed that if they do something like that, you're like, oh, okay, that feels more real.
Right.
But the first 100 chapters, I think, are One Piece's weakest points. But I don't think it's bad. Everyone says, oh, it's bad, it's boring, the first 100 chapters. It's its weakest point, but again, he's building world and I enjoy it.
Right. Okay.
But don't jump into it with expectations. Just go in blind. Like I got really lucky when it came to experiencing manga because I got to experience the big three all at the exact same moment in time. I got the monthly Shonen Jump, which had Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
It had all.
I used to read those. Like we'd have them in the backs of like my classrooms in school, and I used to read them.
Oh yeah.
But it would just be random chapters. I wouldn't know. I think I didn't actually ever see One Piece or Bleach when I was reading them. I always seen there was Naruto chapters, Yu-Gi-Oh chapters, and like Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yep. So with the monthly Shonen Jump in America, there was you had Dragon Ball. Yeah, you had Dragon Ball, Shaman King, Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, and then you had some other cycling ones through there. Shaman King got axed at a certain point, but then you had Beelzebub, pretty weird series. I believe that was also by Akira Toriyama of Dragon Ball fame. No, not Beelzebub. It was what was the name of that? I always call it Beelzebub because it was one of the main characters was literally a demon. But it was was that one of his? I can't remember what it was anymore. It felt like a very Akira Toriyama series, which is why I enjoyed it, and it was in Shonen Jump. Sandland. It was called Sandland.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, there's only like 2 to 3 volumes of Sandland.
Weird.
God, yeah, it was by Akira Toriyama. It was a short manga series, and there was only 1 volume. It was even less. And it was one of those weird things that you got introduced to it. So I got introduced to all the big three at the same time, and I just gravitated. Like One Piece made me laugh just a little bit more because the very first few chapters of Naruto were like a lot heavier. Right? Like it's a lot heavier, a lot more like couldn't get into it. Like you were in the Cell Saga for the Android and Cell Saga for Dragon Ball, but everything else was at the beginning. So it was just really, really crazy, but I loved it so much.
Yeah, back in the day, I didn't even know that the other big three, like Bleach and One Piece, like when I was into Naruto in like grade 5, no clue, didn't know any of those existed. Never heard about them.
I think here Bleach was actually bigger, like because of the anime.
Oh, really?
Because the anime was just so weird. It was all filler, no killer, basically. But the filler was just some of you are like, oh, this could make sense as canon.
Yeah. I've been watching it. I know all about that filler.
I think. Have you gotten to see the Bount arc yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
hated it.
Yeah, no one likes that Bount arc. No one.
Could
if you
not
do,
stand it.
You're a liar.
Could not stand it.
Oh my gosh.
Such a quality drop from Soul. You can't go from the Soul Society arc debatably the best arc in the series to that,
Yeah,
and expect me to sit there and be like, hey, this is great.
you need
Like,
to
it was,
have some build up. Like I said,
yeah.
Naruto like stayed pretty consistent and it kept having peaks. Like Bleach started here. Like Kubo was like, this is my story, this is how it's gonna go down. And it feels like the editors just told him you have to keep going. He was like, oh shit, I don't have the rest of the story planned. Oh god. I always joke that I would love to see Kubo paired up with a different, like with a writer. Like let Kubo illustrate the series while somebody
Yeah,
else writes
man.
it.
I was talking about that with my friend the other day. Like, that would be so good. Like, have someone else write it. Actually, you know what the conversation was? I it's funny because I was like, we need a manga where Kishimoto writes it, but Kubo draws it. And I was like, yes,
I would
dude.
enjoy that. That would be so fun to watch. I mean, Kishimoto is pretty interesting. Did you ever read any of Samurai 8?
Oh
It
yeah, I
was,
reviewed. They're on private now, but because I showed a lot of manga panels,
yep, that's
so
always a bad thing.
I got worried, so I put them
Yep.
all. Like I didn't get flagged for any of them, but I was planning for the future, and I privated all of them. But I reviewed weekly all 36 chapters or 40 something chapters that there were,
It
and I am buying the volumes just out of respect for Kishimoto. But I didn't enjoy the series that much.
it
Like, it was
wasn't,
okay.
the writing wasn't bad. It was the
Yeah.
artwork. It was 100% the
Yeah. Oh
artwork.
my god. Yeah. The artwork was like, there was like hardly any shading. It was like so white and like
It was one of
just,
his assistants that he was giving a chance.
oh yeah.
He was like, "Hey, I'll let you draw the series that I write. You know, we'll try to make it pretty popular." It was too
Yeah.
soft. Everything was so round. There was
Yeah.
like, I was like, "Why are the swords round?" It doesn't feel like anything has any weight.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I think that's really nice of Kishimoto to try to. He wanted to. I remember reading about that too. He wanted to give that guy like his first like big break
Yeah,
in Shonen Jump, and really just kickstart his career as a mangaka. But yeah, didn't work out. But
I
I
I
think that's really nice of him, at least at
I
the end of
think
the
it is,
day.
and I think that it's a good lesson, like to take back from. Hey, this is kind of where your artwork failed. This is kind of why the story wasn't there. You can take it and improve it. And I
Yeah.
think that would be really cool. Another author who's done that is Hiro Mashima from Fairy Tail, right?
Oh yeah.
So Fairy Tail 100 year quest is written by Mashima, but illustrated by one of his assistants.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can't tell except for when you start to really look at the eyes. The eyes are where the biggest difference is. It sounds so weird. Like I was sitting there and I was talking with another manga creator from a, I don't know if she still makes videos. I haven't really paid attention that much anymore. But Manga Fairy, we were both reviewing Eden Zero, and she was reviewing 100 Years Quest. And we were both having a conversation about it, and we kind of came to the conclusion that the eyes are what felt off about felt off about that. And I thought that was really weird because the series is still going on. Like the author is able to almost perfectly copy Mashima's artwork, almost
Right.
like hands down, which is cool. And I'm actually really intrigued by the fact that Mashima's writing two series, like writing and illustrating one series and writing another one all at the same time. But it's
Yeah,
so
that's
much,
gotta be.
it's so much fun. So we are nearing the end of our hour, actually, which sucks because I'm super enjoying this. But what kind of do you have coming up? Like, what is on your list to like create now?
Well, as we discussed, the channel change kind of is underway. So my content's going to be like a lot more character analysis or like scene analysis. Um, I do have a lot of I don't know if you've seen my post on Twitter where I think you did. Yeah, because I think we were talking about it. The thumbnails,
The
right? Where I
thumbnails.
posted all those thumbnails.
By the way, okay, sorry, I lied. We're not coming to the end because I want to talk about thumbnails. This is like my absolute, like, I love thumbnails. All right, sorry, club, I lied. Here we go into my favorite discussion.
Yeah, so those hold on, let me pull up my thing here. Um so yeah, I wanted to I want to start analyzing like a lot of more, like I don't even know what that means, analyzing, you know, like I've never done it before, right? I mean, I've done it like a little bit in my reviews and stuff, but
Yeah.
like so I think, and this is not a sure thing, but I think I want to make a series called The Beauty of a Fight,
Ooh.
and then have a different, so it'd be like titled, my the first one that I have planned is The Beauty of a Fight, Zabuza versus Team 7, and in which I would go through the whole fight from start to finish and analyze everything that's going on, the emotions that the characters are feeling, the intensity in the air, like the feeling that the fights are giving you, even the abilities and what actually is going on technically in the fight. Like I want to examine the whole fight in detail from start to finish and just say why, like just examine why this fight is good, like why it makes it so beautiful, the beauty of a fight.
That would
So I
actually
want to
be.
I want to do that for like almost every, not every fight in Naruto, but every fight that I really like in Naruto,
I think
and
that'd be
just kind
really
of go
fun.
through it. So that's one of my ideas. Yeah.
That would be really cool. And honestly, like I said, I want to talk about your thumbnails because I've been having so much fun. But this is where I'm really liking where you're going, because you and I like have kind of landed on the same idea for thumbnails almost.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. I was
really
looking at some of
interesting.
yours. Yeah.
And like, by the way, guys, I did not see any of the thumbnails that he was working on. He did not see any of mine. But they're look like, I don't want to say they look similar because each of them has a different flavor, but like
Right.
they look coincidentally.
It's that I'm looking at yours right now. It's the manga panels in the background.
It is.
I think I said this on Twitter too. The manga panels in the background with like some sort of like light color overlay over it,
Oh yeah.
and then some sort of render in front of it, a character or whatever you're
Oh,
talking about.
absolutely. In
And
fact,
then even the text, the simple. I really like this in yours and in mine. Is that simple? Like, it's not like a lot of people do like crazy text, right? Like
yeah,
a manga text or like something. But we have that simple. Just it's so clean looking. I feel like,
so nice,
yeah, and
so
and that
nice.
that's what it is. The manga panels in the background though. It's key.
It's
It
in it,
looks so nice.
and if you want to take it to the next level, which I'm going to start doing, you take manga panels from the manga that you're talking about in different ones, because it's going to add a little bit of a
Yeah,
different visual to it. I haven't been doing that
that's
quite as much,
oh, that's what I was doing. Yeah.
but if you take a look, and I'll actually, I'm not going to share it with anybody else except for you because I'm pretty excited for some of these thumbnails that I'm coming up with. But like, this is, we'll go with, I'm sending it to your, just send it to your Twitter right now.
Mhm.
Like, I saw one of yours and I was like, oh man, that looks so good. And I kind of wanted to, I will admit, I copied it a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. So wait, this is like you saw
I
the.
saw yours a little bit and I was like, you know what? That's not a half bad idea, because mine originally I was taking paneled characters and highlighting some, like, I'm still probably going to do
Yeah.
that, but for like if I'm doing anime specific discussions, I'd like to use anime. If I'm doing manga specific discussions, I'd like to use a manga character. Like,
Yeah, I've actually stopped doing that. Like unless the video specifically says anime, I try to like, I don't know if you've seen my Zabuza and Haku video,
I
but
did.
it shows some manga stuff and it
Hmm.
shows some, like I'm literally discussing both at the same time, like no specifics.
Yeah.
But I found recently, and this is just more recently because I used to always use anime character, like pictures from the anime in my
Hmm.
thumbnails. I really, really like the way that the black and white manga characters contrast with the colored background.
So one
Like it's
thing that
so cool.
so none of you can see what's going on right now. This is a very, very deep discussion though. Like, God, I'm trying to figure out if I have any of my old thumbnails. So for those of you that don't know, I 100% accidentally deleted all of my old computer stuff. Uh,
Oh man.
yeah, well, because I was trying to get a different operating system onto my
Okay.
computer, or do multiple operating systems at the same time. But here's one that I did that I really, really enjoyed. Let's see if I have it anymore. Oh, I don't. But I was doing something like, and I'm sending it to him just so he can see. I really enjoyed stuff like this right here. I thought this was probably one of the best looking thumbnails I've ever made.
Yeah, see, I think it's like the simplicity. Like some people just do too much, you know?
Yeah.
But like that, I think that it just looks clean.
It looks so
It
good.
just looks
And
clean.
the only difference that I've made to my thumbnails, and for those of you that can't see, it's the Unlucky Boy Undead Girl thumbnail that I've done. The only difference that I do when I do like pure manga characters is I'll take something that I want to highlight on the character and color that in. Like, I'll make that color so
Okay.
it pops out, and then if they're doing like a smile, I'll do this, like, I'll do white a little bit on the teeth and the eyes, and then make one other color pop on there. And I just really, really enjoy the look of it. Like on this one right here, I'd probably make her hair blonde, and that's the only thing that I'd change about this. To make just
Okay.
one small thing pop, and maybe draw attention to his shoes, and make them like a brown shoe.
That'd be cool.
Right? Like, it's just those little,
Yeah.
like, it's the little details to me that make the biggest difference.
Yeah, I like that thumbnail. I like the colors.
Like I said, it was genuinely one of my favorite looking thumbnails for a really fun, short, like 54-page series.
Yeah, it's oh my god, it's crazy how I am with thumbnail. Like I literally like spend so much time making the thumbnail. Like I'm obsessed with them.
It's
Absolutely.
one of the most important parts of a video isn't just the title or the content, it's the
Oh,
thumbnail.
definitely.
You
That's what
100%.
gets people to click on the video.
Yeah,
For sure.
you for everyone who says don't judge a book by its cover, you're fucking lying. Like, you judge books by its covers every day, and this is no different. Like, if I saw a really shitty thumbnail, I wouldn't click on it.
Like, if I see a thumbnail, like I could see like two thumbnails, right? And it was like, let's say like the new chapter review, like a Boruto chapter review. I don't really watch chapter reviews anyways, but just let's say, and one had just a picture of the guy who was talking, like it's just like the default, right? And the other one had a picture of like some character and like some colors and like a nice looking thumbnail. I'm definitely clicking on that one.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely, 100%.
It looks so good.
Yeah,
and you judge it.
A lot of people don't know how important that is. Like,
no, and that's why I actually highly recommend, if you're serious about YouTube, anybody. I'm not sponsored by this company, but I genuinely use them. TubeBuddy is actually TubeBuddy is really handy. It's like $5 a month, but it helps you with your SEO. It helps you like figure out how to like craft your titles and things like that.
I have something similar actually. It's called vidIQ.
Yep, vidIQ and TubeBuddy. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. And there's people who use vidIQ, TubeBuddy, and Morningstar. They use like 3 different things to craft like their SEO, their thumbnails, like do their research, track their data. It sounds like I'm plugging these things. I'm genuinely not sponsored, but I think that if you're a serious creator and you want to get the most out of what you're doing, having something like this to help you along is instrumental.
Super helpful.
But
Definitely.
We are at the end of the hour. We talked about thumbnails, which I did want to talk about. Now, TeeBry, if you don't know, at the very end of every Manga Club episode, I have what is called the random question of the day. It's where I take something just around me and I just make up a random question every single time. Last question was, what is your spirit pants? That is not...
What?
Yes, what is your spirit pants? Yes, exactly. What... Like, I asked Evan yesterday, which was last episode's, what kind of pants are you? He's like, what kind of pants am I wearing, or what kind of pants am I? I was like, what is your spirit pants? He said that he is a pair of stretchy dress pants. Dress slacks. I said that I was a pair of either squat shorts or, and I got very oddly specific with this, the one pair of jeans that you have that's like just good enough to be like a semi-casual pair of jeans, but you can also go out and mow your lawn in them at the same time. Like, that's how eerily specific we get with some of these. But
all right, hit me with it then.
Hit you with your best shot. Taking a look at my desk, what kind of battery are you? Are you a big battery? Yes. Are you a lithium-ion battery, something small? Are you a rechargeable battery? Are you a big D battery that you plug into things that you're like, why does it need to be this big?
Oh my god, I am a AA battery.
You are one of the most useful batteries in anybody's arsenal.
That's why AA, they're everywhere.
I can respect that.
That's the best battery.
I mean, I have. You want to see what inspired this question?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
A AA battery.
Damn right.
You read my mind. On the other hand, I am a lithium-ion watch battery that can go into
the little circle ones.
The little circle ones. I love those things because they are so handy for me at work. That's exclusively it. And there's no other purpose to that. Literally, I could choose anything.
They're also very hard to find.
They are super hard to find and super unique. I don't, like I said, you could have chosen any battery. You chose probably one of the most versatile, well-used, and well-liked batteries out there. And I think that describes you to a T. So let everyone know where they can find you. This is a chance where you get to plug your channel, your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever you have. Let the people know, and I will link it in the description down below.
My channel? That's probably the main place that you're going to want to go, the YouTube channel. You can also find me on Twitter at something TeeBry1. You can find me on Instagram at Madara the Hitta. I'm the most proud about that one.
You actually
And
got
then I
manga.
also have a Discord server, a community Discord server, where we just talk about fucking anime, anything, whatever. It's constantly growing. We got custom emojis that I had made of anime characters. It's dope. So that's, yeah, come over to the Discord server.
All right, the Discord server, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube channel will all be linked in the description. You guys know who I am because you're watching this video. If you don't, I am Lohali. Like, share, subscribe, all that usual YouTube bullshit. If you are new, welcome to the club. I'm excited to have you. If you are a returning member, welcome back. And for everyone new and old, it's your boy Lohali, and I will see you next video.